Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards, episode 70. Jamie, how the heck are you doing, my friend?
I'm changing my name to Eddie.
How you doing, Eddie?
Doing fine.
How many times have I asked you, were you ready to start recording today?
This is about the fifth time.
So if you want to know, Jamie's in like the best mood he's probably ever been in today. So if the show's a little spicy, it's Jamie's fault.
Oh, I'm spiced up, dude.
He's like a Spice Girl except a guy.
I am like Tabasco sauce on your nuts.
He's Pepper Spice. Pepper Spice.
That's N-U-T-Z. I don't want to get sued.
N-U-T-Z?
Yeah.
Nuts. In the nuts. Okay.
Yeah.
Before we get started, I just want to say our thoughts and prayers go out to Freddie Kraft and his whole family. The loss of his father, Tom Kraft. Thoughts and prayers go out to the whole family, Freddie's brothers and sisters and his mom. We're thinking and praying about you. But Tom was a 3-time figure 8 champion at Riverhead Speedway, and after he got done with his racing career, he was a NASCAR
He did
official.
figure 8?
Yeah, dude.
That is nuts.
He's won like 29 figure 8 races.
That is an American badass.
5th overall at Riverhead Speedway.
Holy crap.
So, thoughts and prayers go out to you guys.
He hasn't bragged about it on the podcast.
I know, that's what I was thinking about. Like I've heard him talk about his dad's figure 8 racing, but when I looked up his father's like stats there and saw he was 5th overall all-time winner at Riverhead Speedway and had 3 figure 8 championships over like a 25-30 year span. He didn't do all this like back in the 60s. This was over. I think his last one was like 2000 something, 2003, something like that.
Well, Freddie, your dad was a badass.
I can't.
I mean, that's just
figure
crazy.
8 racing is insane.
Uh-huh.
You ever watched it? I'm assuming you have. It's
hard not to take your eyes off figure 8 racing.
You have to have an extra set of balls because
you got 2 below the waist and 2 below your chin.
You've taken them off and put them on the dash and let them ride.
Yep,
that's some Noah Gregson.
That is nuts.
So last week I went to Huntsville, took my son to see our NF concert over there, but we drove through the little town of Boaz. I don't know if I've ever told you, but Alabama's a special place. It has a special place in my heart too. But it is a special place.
We went to Western Minnesota. That's a special place too.
What's worse, you think, Western Minnesota or Boaz, Alabama?
Oh, I guarantee it's Boaz.
Boaz is like 5 miles long total at most. We drove through Boaz. They had just as many churches as they did Mexican restaurants. No lie, they had a Joe's Taco and an El La Mexicano Restauranto.
Well,
and it sounds just like it's spelled just like I said it. I had to sound it out. El La Mexicano Restauranto.
Well, based on my trip to Hutchinson, they're not very religious because there was probably 2 churches in the whole town.
Baptist or Catholic?
Lutheran. That's the Catholics of the North, according to
Lutheran.
Yeah.
I thought Baptists were Baptists were the Catholics of the North, and Catholics are the Baptists of the South.
Baptists are the Catholics of the South, I think.
Maybe.
I
don't remember.
Religion gets things all tangled.
Within 500 miles, within a 500-mile stretch, I think we passed 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Baptist church. What was weird is
call it something else instead of 3rd.
What's weird is 2nd and 3rd, I think they had the same pastor at both.
Wasn't that?
He just runs over after service.
You get a new Baptist church as soon as 10 people get pissed off in your current church.
That's why you have more than one Baptist church in every community.
That's why you just pay your dues to the SBC and they let you in, as long as you don't let a woman preach.
I think that's what the rules are. I don't know. I really do. Like we sit here making fun of Boaz for their Mexican restaurantes and all their churches, but I'll be honest, I'd love to live in that area.
Restaurante sounds Italian.
Restaurant. There is a Joe's Italian restaurant in downtown Birmingham. Actually, it's in downtown Pelham, but that's south of Birmingham. You've been to Pelham.
Yeah, I've been to.
You've been to Birmingham too.
I've been to Huntsville and have not been to Muscle Shoals, where all the Southern Rock got started.
Yeah, I don't have. That's on the other side of the state.
We were near it on coming back from our Cannonball Run.
I don't even remember driving through that portion of the country.
We went through northern Mississippi.
I remember coming through Memphis into Mississippi.
We went through the other Tuscaloosa in Alabama, not the college town. Actually, I peed in the Loves at Tuscaloosa.
Was that in Alabama?
Yeah, and there was some natural bridge the other way, and you said it caved in?
Yeah, the natural bridge that broke. Yeah,
the broken bridge.
Well, they didn't want to change the sign. It cost more. It broke like in the 80s, I think.
Well, they break the sign then.
That's what I would think. Just a broken sign. So I was, as I go down my rabbit holes with stupid news, one of the stories I ran across were the police in Poland say 2 men who tried to rob a local grocery store have died in a shooting that took place during the robbery. The strange thing is, both men were accidentally shot when a man across the street was cleaning his gun and it accidentally went off 8 times.
I'm assuming Poland's like those other countries you see in the Middle East or East Europe where everybody's got an AK-47. They play with it like we used to play with our Tonka guns when we were kids.
I mean, it says it was a 9mm pistol. At least it said that in the comment section. We're not saying that's official, but.
So basically he held the trigger down while it emptied half the clip?
That's my question.
Wow.
How do you accidentally shoot off 8 rounds from a pistol without cleaning it? It either means these 2 are the world's unluckiest criminals, or this guy is the world's worst gun cleaner.
Maybe he was on some vodka. I mean, my dad told me remove the click, cock it, unchamber if there's one chambered, and then look down the barrel.
Yeah, and not from the front.
Not from the front to make sure it's empty.
Yeah, you're looking from the top on the inside down the barrel.
Through the chamber to the end of the barrel.
Yeah, not the other way around. I don't know. I think there's either 2 possibilities to this story. It's either A, the guy is a complete moron, doesn't know how to clean a gun, and somehow or another he had to have emptied a clip.
He went all Clint Eastwood on him, and then that's the story so he doesn't go to jail.
Well, that was my other option. What if this is Batman, and that's the best story he could come up with when he got caught?
He said to those 2 crooks, he said, this here is a Makarov 9mm. 15 rounds in the clip. It's fully loaded. Do you feel lucky, punk?
Do you feel lucky, punk?
Do ya?
So then, let's come back a little more local. We go to a Piggly Wiggly in Alabama.
Was that in Boaz?
No. Where an over-enthusiastic Alabama fan brought his home team spirit to a whole nother level. He stumbled through the store, knocking over rows of groceries, chanting, "Roll Tide." Store employees tried to intervene, but when the police showed up, they were able to finally escort the guy out. And apparently he continued screaming "Roll Tide" the whole time he was being drug out of the Piggly Wiggly.
I think that's completely legal if you're screaming Roll Tide and you're in the state of Alabama. Unless you're in Auburn, Alabama.
Correct. But because he was in the Piggly Wiggly outside of Auburn, Alabama, void. Like it never happened, right? The cops get you outside and they go, "Roll Tide."
What do you think the Tide fan base compared to Auburn is? 99-1?
I know I had a heating and air customer in the state of Alabama when I was the sales rep over there, and they charged $25 more if you had an Auburn anything outside of your house.
That's funny.
If they pulled up, it was automatically $25 more. Now, they didn't. The only people who knew about this were the employees.
Well, they had to be laughing about it.
Oh, it was hilarious. Like he would show me invoices.
So you could have a Michigan flag, and that's okay. But you got an Auburn.
So
bam.
The technician would add it into the price, or the sales guy would add it into the price. And the homeowner, it wasn't like they had a line item.
An Auburn tax.
They didn't have Auburn fan wrote down, but what they would do is on the front of the invoice or on the.
Did they write Roll Tide?
No, they wrote War Eagle, which is the
whatever
Auburn chant. So the homeowner got it, and they're like, "Oh, they're a War Eagle. They're an Auburn fan. War Eagle, man. War Eagle." When the homeowner was really being charged $25 more for being a War Eagle fan. I think it's phenomenal. I mean, it's like, I want to charge more if I know you're a Joey Loganos fan.
I want to like charging more in Georgia for a Georgia Tech fan.
Yeah, but you really wouldn't make any money off of it because there's only like 10 of those in the state of Georgia.
Well, Georgia Tech graduates brag about how much money they make. Charge them an extra $1,000.
Everybody that goes to Georgia Tech graduates with a business degree.
Oh, it's all engineering, I thought.
I'm just talking about their football team. You'd think they would get better football players.
Well, they can't pass engineering. That's the hard stuff.
Yeah, but they're not going to class anyway. I don't think these
football
players don't go to class, man.
Somebody does. You hear them interviewed. They got a 4-year degree from a major university. They get interviewed after an NFL game and they can't even speak a full sentence.
Oh man, they speak full.
Sucker can I'll pot him right in the mouth.
I hit him. I knock him down.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
That's the idiot mating call of Alabama. Roll Tide. If Harry Potter was from Alabama. All right, United Kingdom. They also have their own Karens as well. A lady in the United Kingdom called the local authorities because her neighbor was making too much noise. You see, her neighbor is a violin and piano teacher who teaches between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. 5 days a week. The police issued a noise complaint to the woman with 0 penalties attached.
So they know she's a Karen.
Yeah,
but they had to show or she would Karen up on them.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. They know this lady's going to flip out regardless. So in order to appease Karen, they wrote this lady a citation that had no monetary fines, no penalties whatsoever attached to it.
They probably said, hey, mate, oi, your neighbor is a stink ass, and I'm going to give you a ticket here, but the ticket is just going to be a warning, oi.
Bloody hell, wanker.
Me don't like that Karen next door.
Bloody hell, Harry. Bloody hell.
Bollocks!
Harry Potter.
Ah, bollocks!
I would start teaching drums or maybe like heavy metal singing if I was her neighbor.
Get Bruce Dickinson there.
I would offer, like Iron Maiden.
Head to the hills!
Run for your life.
Well, that was better. Yours was.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I'll take
I can't get
I can't sing.
I can get loud.
So. Oh, let's bring it back stateside. Let's go to Washington State.
America.
Washington State is one of the 50 states.
Is it?
And it's not
not only Eastern Washington was.
It is not home to the Washington Redskins.
Well, they're the Commodores now.
The Canadians.
Canadians?
Yeah. It's like a Commodore.
Cambodians?
It's like a common Canadian Cambodian. A common Canadian Cambodian.
Why couldn't they be the Commanders? It rolls so much better than whatever they're called.
Commandadors? So a local donut shop in Washington State had to be temporarily closed after a black bear got into the store shortly after opening. Store employees say the bear wandered in the back and just started ransacking the place and eating the donuts. Store employees said they didn't try to intervene or remove the bear. They just took off running. One store employee told the local news that he doesn't get paid enough to fight a bear over some donuts.
You know what probably happened here? Seattle's all whacked out. Have you noticed that?
So the bears
they called the police. They called 911 and said, hey, got a black bear going crazy in my donut shop. And the 911
he's homeless.
Said, you're racist. We're not coming.
No, it's a black bear.
No, a black bear.
This is like Cocaine Bear, except the bear's all hopped up on coffee and sugar. The best part of this story for me is the store employee telling the news people, I don't get paid enough to go in there and ram off no bear.
Probably making minimum wage.
I'm not chasing a bear off. I ain't making $12.43 an hour.
Yeah, minimum wage in Seattle, like $30 an hour.
No, I thought minimum wage was the base salary of $100,000 a year in Seattle.
It's expensive there.
So this guy's making $100,000 a year working at the donut shop. But I don't know that for $100,000 a year, if a black bear comes in the back door, if a black bear comes in the back door of this studio right now, I'm going out the window past you because I don't have to outrun the bear. Just have to outrun you.
Here's a funny story. I'm in Minneapolis, right? I don't like Starbucks. Don't like it.
Their coffee's crap.
It tastes like ass.
Okay.
But I go in and get a sparkling water because I was wandering around looking at the buildings downtown. And I put my credit card in the little machine. And she reaches over and hits something.
Tip.
And I'm like, what did she just do? And so I see the total and it says, is this correct? And it shows me she hit 20% tip. I hit cancel and said, hey, this isn't working.
She redo it?
She redid it and reached over and hit 20% tip again.
Did you say it again?
I said, hey, this ain't working. Then I put my arm up and covered her from the screen. I said, can you reset that? I was going to give her like 10% because I figured, she needed some money. But if you're going to reach over and make it 20%, I'm sorry. I didn't even have it made behind the counter. I grabbed it from the dang cooler.
So you're
I'm going to pay, and it was $5 anyway. I'm going to pay an extra $1.
Yeah.
For doing all the work.
That's how companies don't have to increase their minimum wage. They just increase the tip expectancy. So now you're expected to pay for your food plus pay for that worker. Compensate them because the company's cheap and don't want to compensate them.
Well, as I was walking out, it was a small Starbucks. I heard asshole.
I got no problem.
And you know what I did? I slapped my ass.
I got no problem tipping servers, people who serve. But I don't think the guy at the drive-thru.
What if you go to Domino's for pickup? Do you think they deserve a tip?
No.
No, they're just doing their job. The driver, if you have it delivered to your house,
he does.
20% all day long.
Correct. What about the guy at Burger King drive-thru? Or the guy working the counter? See, that's the thing that now at the counter, Burger King and McDonald's, you have to literally at McDonald's order through a robot machine.
Jester
go to the counter and they'll deliver the food. They ask you to tip the lady handing your food now.
No.
Okay. What about at a grocery store? They have the tip option available. All these places are now offering
What grocery store has tip?
Doesn't Publix have a tip option? Not on self-checkout, but
I don't know. I'll have to look.
I thought one of the grocery stores I went in recently had
very angry at Publix. They ain't getting no tips.
What did Publix do to you?
Well, I keep getting their boar's head cheese.
Yeah.
For sandwiches. And I'll order it the day before. I'll show up because you set your time. Like, I'll be there at 3 o'clock. Like, I get home Friday night at 6 o'clock and say, I'll pick it up at 2 o'clock tomorrow, Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, I get there at 2 o'clock. There's no cheese, and they tell me they put it there. Says, does that mean someone's says, oh, that's what I wanted? Grabbing it?
That's exactly what that means.
But then they give me attitude when I say it's not here.
You got gypped, you got mad, and then you got attitude. So not only did you get gypped, you also got attitude.
It's happened about 3 of the last times I've been there.
And then they wanted you to just give a tip too, right? Even without getting it.
I ain't paying for it if they ain't got it.
They still want a tip. You came up there.
I can get Boar's Head at Kroger. I can get it at Ingles.
You asked a question.
Probably can't get it at Walmart.
No, probably not. They got their own head.
They got Sam's fresh.
Sam's fresh head.
Yeah. Deli cuts.
I like some deli cut head. All right, in New Mexico. I thought this was California this morning.
Is there meth involved? Because we saw some weird campers out in the desert.
A woman in New Mexico calls the local authorities after her crack dealer sold her, in her words, fake meth and stole her money. When the police arrived, they tested the fake meth. Come to find out, it wasn't actually fake meth. It was just diluted down. She was then arrested for possession of methamphetamine and was taken to jail. And from what I can find, there was no charges ever brought upon her dealer.
Well, I think they charged her a stupidity tax.
Like, I've seen videos on Instagram of the 911 call where the guy calls 911.
Is she so dumb she doesn't understand that illegal drugs are called illegal drugs because they're illegal?
I mean, I'm assuming there's just no integrity in the methamphetamine market in New Mexico.
You're a criminal if you're selling it. Of course there's no integrity.
We drove through New Mexico.
We saw
there's a lot
of campers out there with
trailers and
smoke coming out of the roof.
Oh, no doubt. Like, you would see one RV next to the other. One RV burn up, new one in operation. Dudes in their underwear come rolling out with their gas mask on. You know what's happening.
What did we not see in our whole drive through New Mexico? A state trooper There's no cops.
That's true.
There's none in New Mexico.
I almost got kidnapped in New Mexico.
Well, that's why.
New Mexico is probably my favorite state we visited.
It's beautiful.
Phoenix or Arizona.
Arizona's beautiful.
It's crazy because you go from Arizona orange to New Mexico brown. It's just like, and literally you can see the mountain.
There's like 20 colors of browns.
Yeah, but it's
on the
all,
state line. It goes from red to brown.
Yeah, it's all orange, it's brown.
Red,
so
brown.
There's no oranges. There's no reds. It's just brown, 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 brown. It's still beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's amazing to me how it changes so drastically from Arizona to
and
New Mexico.
The high desert of California was white sand
with no trees.
I saw some
as
trees.
You found out.
I saw like those big ass
redwoods,
sequoias. Redwoods.
Sequoia, that's an Indian.
Well, they got sequoia trees.
Sequoia.
Or is that Sacagawea keys? Trees.
I might be all wrong on that. It's Seneca. That's what I was thinking of, not Sequoia. Seneca is the Indian reservation in New York.
Well, what the hell are they doing in New Mexico, Arizona, and California? Did we push them that far?
No, we didn't see we had the Sequoia maybe, but not the Seneca. I don't know. There's like 15 different tribes, man. When we came into the first tribes out, when we went through Kansas for like 12 seconds, and we got the first tribe, I was like sketched out. It was like 3 a.m. There was literally, as far as the eye could see, 0 lights except for one little teepee that had a candle burning.
That was for tourists.
That's the road.
That's City Hall.
They had the toll roads there and didn't tell us. We got billed later, but it was the nicest roads that we drove on the whole flipping trip.
Well, that's because they're paid for with your money.
Exactly. That's why they bill you. It's to keep those roads nice. All right.
Has Kyle Busch ever been there?
No, but I do think Kyle Busch might want to go to this place here. So this is another story from the United Kingdom. A cannabis grow operation was shut down recently in the United Kingdom after police discovered over 200 plus plants growing in the bottom floor of an apartment. The apartment was located directly next door to the police department. Police got a warrant to search the building after a strong odor of marijuana was coming from the open windows on the ground floor.
Is it not legal?
Not 200 plus plants. You would have to be in America in the legal states for 200 plus plants. You would have to be a commercial grower. I mean, that's like massively illegal in America or in the United Kingdom. I just love how stupid criminals can be.
Oh, criminals.
Yeah. I mean, just think. This is like taking the police along with you on a bank robbery. Like pulling up front of the police station and say, hey, mate, jump in the car. Taking them down to the bank, robbing the bank with the cop with you. You are literally next door. I understand. Put it right under their noses. They won't catch it. I get all that. But there's a strong smell coming out of the windows that you have open on the ground floor, which they said you're growing 200 plus plants of marijuana on the ground floor.
Don't you think they knew how many plants they were growing?
Why they say 200 plus in the article is I think the guy who wrote the article didn't.
I mean, if I'm growing for a profit, I know how many plants I have every day, even if it's corn.
That's what I mean. Like, they know. The police even know. I just can't believe, for one, the audacity of the criminals.
Don't you think the best place to commit a crime is next to the police station because they never expect it?
Well, that's what I was saying. That's what they do. They put it right under their nose. But wouldn't you maybe not open the windows and let it vent out?
Well, they call
right
it
into
the
England, door.
The cops, a bobby walks by and goes, "Oh my, that smells like some marijuana."
Bloody hell!
It can't be.
It smells like the cannabis.
I'm right here at Scotland Yard. There's no way you would be doing cannabis next to Scotland Yard.
Professor Sherlock Holmes, we need you on the case. We can smell the cannabis right out front here of the police station. Maybe that was it. Maybe the criminals suspected the cops would think it was the police station smelling like pot from all the potheads that the police were arresting.
Did you know Sherlock Holmes has discovered everlasting life?
Because he's still around?
He's now Iron Man.
Wow. I expecting that one there.
It's pretty smart, dude. Have you ever watched? Go watch the latest Sherlock Holmes.
I thought the latest Sherlock Holmes was a woman.
That's Mrs. Sherlock Holmes.
Isn't that a TV show?
Yes.
Is it? I feel like I've watched.
She's gonna be Iron Woman.
She'll be Iron Woman next.
I'm sure your kids are watching it. I think it's quite popular in the teenage world.
Watching Iron Woman?
No, Miss Sherlock or
I was watching
Nancy Sherlock.
Batman: The Killing Joke. It's animated. I was watching that last night. It's an animated movie. Pretty good. I can't watch it with my kids though. Is
it an adult Batman?
Yeah, it's rated R. Most of the rated R Batmans, animated Batmans, aren't bad. Like you could watch.
I wonder why Disney hasn't bought Batman and run it to the ground.
I wonder why Disney hasn't taken the Batman playbook and made like the reason most Batmans are rated R when it's an animated series or an animated movie is because of the blood and the violence. It's not so much the language is really the same on a PG-13 or R-rated Batman. I prefer an R-rated because the violence and it's just more of my level. So, but it's not usually.
Does it remind you of walking downtown Atlanta late at night?
Yeah. So, but
around the old Phillips Arena.
Why hasn't Marvel had a good animated run too with X-Men?
Have you noticed Marvel?
Why haven't they made X-Men rated R movies
before?
And not for anything other than just
Marvel sold out to Disney. The movies were better.
Duh. Disney literally ruins everything they get. We know that.
I heard there's no one at their park in Florida anymore.
No, their park's still crowded from what I've heard. We had some friends who recently went there in our Sunday school, and they were talking about it just packed. Actually, no. We have friends in Sunday school who are currently in Disney, and they were telling us how a friend told them it was packed out. So,
well, it is. School starts this week, though. It should loosen up.
I mean, we went years ago. We went for Christmas, and we were there on Christmas Day, and they had to quit letting people in like midday because it was max capacity.
Well, I sure wouldn't want to go there at Christmas time.
I'll be honest, it was probably my favorite Christmas with my kids, my wife and kids. It was probably like our best Christmas ever. Nobody got mad. It was just, everybody was happy at the park. It was pretty smooth. And I don't know. It was, believe it or not, as crazy as it sounds to say, I was at an amusement park and it was packed to the max with people. I still had a good time.
Did you see Santa Claus?
I don't remember. They
might not own the rights to Santa Claus.
They might not. It might have been
Coca-Cola does.
Mickey Santa, maybe.
Yeah, they'd have to get a licensing agreement with Coca-Cola.
All right, well, it's been 2 weeks since we recorded an episode because Jamie went to Minneapolis to try to get shot, and luckily he was unsuccessful, did not get shot,
Came close.
Killed. Came very close. Didn't you see a dude pooping on the sidewalk?
Yeah, a guy came into our
shooting heroin
trolley car and pissed in the car we were in.
Just right next to you.
Yeah.
You see people shooting heroin?
I thought he'd leave, but he left, but he came back and sat right next to his puddle of pee-pee.
Yeah, so if you're looking for
go to St. Paul.
A vacation destination, St. Paul might not be where you want to go. Now, I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
Not having been
if you listen to this show,
Paul,
you're probably not going to be a fan of St. Paul when you go visit. So
Minneapolis was probably the cleanest city I've ever been to in North America. I used to say it was Toronto. I'm saying Minneapolis is the cleanest, nicest, big city I've ever been to.
I was about to argue with you that Toronto's not in America, but you said
it's North America.
I know. Slow, man.
And so I was like,
slow.
I can't help trolley goes from downtown Minneapolis to past the Capitol in St. Paul, and it's the Twin Cities. So my oldest son and I rode it. They're not really twins. They're not identical twins.
Oh, really?
One is like beautiful, welcoming, friendly people. The other is dark, dingy,
dangerous.
I was hoping Batman would arrive.
You went from this beautiful city to Gotham.
Basically, yeah.
And not even the nice Gotham, like when Bane invaded Gotham.
Bizarro world backwards from Minneapolis.
Yeah, I mean, But they say there's like lawlessness anyway in St. Paul now. So
we witnessed it.
Yeah, I mean, dude shooting up heroin on the sidewalk.
I actually told my son, I said, I think we're going to have to fight our way out of here and start giving them tips on what we should do.
Yeah, I get a text from Jamie. He's like, I think we're being followed and we're about to be mugged. I'm telling my children where to hit and where to kick as we take off running. This might be my last text to you. What the heck's he talking about?
Well, we just ran from the crackhead car.
Why are you going to let your buddy
car.
in Georgia know you're about to be mugged? Like, I call 911. I don't know. I'd probably start videoing.
I know. You can't do that there.
Oh, yeah. No, it's lawless. Literally, yes. There's no laws there.
The cops were we saw tons of cops in Minneapolis, none in St. Paul.
Are they sitting on, like, the outskirts of town, like right at the town line?
Well, as you're riding this trolley, you can see past the University of Minnesota as you head towards St. Paul. You start seeing some trash bags in the windows of cars, plywood in the windows of houses.
Do they have homeless problems too in St. Paul? Like they do in
I don't think these people they were naked. Well, they had boxer shorts on.
Did you see the fat lady in where was it at? In the Bay? What's the Bay Area? San Francisco, right? Is that what they call the Bay Area?
I guess.
The news report said in the Bay, a naked fat woman runs across the highway in the Bay Area.
Was she singing? It was all over. She was singing because the fat lady sang.
They were she wasn't running across the street. She was literally butt naked running down the street. They had the Bay Area, I'm pretty sure, San Francisco. So,
well, we saw this crackhead.
I'm not up on my liberalism, so if I'm wrong, I apologize.
We saw him smoke crack. My son had never seen anyone smoke crack.
I've only seen somebody smoke crack once, and that was at a Metallica concert. The dude in front of us bent down and started smoking crack. He was crushing it up on his cigarette packet and then smoked it. And he wasn't like directly, he was like two people in front of us, but there was no doubt what he was doing with that tinfoil bowl he had made in his lighter.
They were all just wearing underwear. It was like 92 degrees, and to them, that was a heat.
This guy had underwear on.
He had no shirt, no shoes, and shorts. Well,
so he
boxer shorts, but...
So he couldn't go to Waffle House.
I'd never seen a belly button like he had. It looked like Bruce Lee was punching his way out from the inside of his belly.
Oh,
he had an Audi, but it was a fist.
That's probably,
I don't know what the heck that was.
I think that's a side effect from smoking methamphetamines. I think it says it on when you buy your meth on the warning
label, like on cigarettes.
If you watch the commercial, it says could cause fist-like outies.
Wow.
In your belly button hole.
What does your wiener look like after you're doing a lot of that stuff?
What if your fist outie is bigger than your wiener?
You got a problem.
Will you be Chief
Make movies.
Chief Two-Pole?
Make some movies.
Stumpy. That's double Stumpy.
Y'all balloon knot.
That's all double Stumpy over there.
Balloon knot.
Well, since we were out for the last 2 weeks, we're going to talk about Pocono and Richmond. So let's start with Pocono. Denny Hamlin runs Larson high to take the lead and win the race. Him and Kyle Larson are apparently buddies, play golf together. Lots and lots and lots of people are mad at Denny Hamlin.
Too. They do the pickleball. Why are they mad at Denny?
Because he wrecked a Hendrix car. What do you think?
Do you think Larson kind of put people in situations?
At this point, we've heard everybody's opinion. You know, the DBC guys had no problem with what Denny did. Dell Jr. thought it was a little dirty, but he was all for it as well. Kyle Petty really thought it was a dirty move and didn't like it whatsoever.
Yeah, but look at his wins. He's got, what, 4?
I mean, Denny has 50 wins. I don't think Kyle Petty has a whole lot he can really say there.
Denny's going to have to channel his own teammate, Joey, to get a championship.
Yeah.
Everybody said they're going to wreck Joey. They didn't.
No.
Denny needs to wreck people.
Look, I don't care if Denny and Kyle Larson are friends. I don't care if they're brothers. I don't care if they're sisters. None of that matters to me. What I care about is this the last lap of the race. I want to see the guy in second place racing his little heart out, trying to win that race. And if that means running a guy up the track to take the lead when you can't pass in this new car,
do it.
Run him up the track and take the lead so you can pass him in the new car and win the race. I am greatly all for that.
Wreck him.
Kyle Larson can be as mad as he wants to be. It's okay, Buttercup. You've done the same thing to your own teammate. It's okay. everybody's mad at Denny saying, well, Denny complains over here, but then he does it over here.
Whatever.
Every one of these drivers is Denny Hamlin. So, is Denny Hamlin the new bad boy of NASCAR?
Sure, why not? Get a championship, Denny.
During race intros last week and this week, Denny Hamlin was severely booed. Probably as much, if not almost as much as
Richmond's his own track. Jeez.
I agree. Then you got, when Denny won the race last weekend, he was severely booed to the point that Jeff Burton on TV thought it was because of NASCAR's decision. And Dale Jr. had to say, nah, man, it ain't because of what NASCAR did. It's called Denny Hamlin won.
Well, he ain't got a championship because he wouldn't drive that way. The mayor of NASCAR.
Dale Jr. don't have a championship, and he didn't drive that way either.
Nope.
I have no problem with what Denny did. Denny's not there to make friends. Denny doesn't care if you like him. Denny's there to win races.
For his sponsors and his team.
Here's the funny thing. Most drivers, if you look throughout the history of NASCAR, when they're young, cocky drivers and fans tend to hate them, by the time they're in their 40s, fans are usually starting to like them. For example, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick are all drivers who, when they were younger, people had a problem with them. As they got older and matured, had kids, grew up, people started liking them.
People didn't like DW.
Denny Hamlin. The older he gets, the more people dislike him. Why do you think that is?
Because he hasn't driven this way in the past, and now he is. He's decided he ain't going to take it no more. He going to get a championship.
I don't think he cares if he wins a championship or not.
Oh, I think he does.
There's no way it doesn't eat at him, but he says he don't at least.
That's a one sticker not on his fire suit.
Champion?
Yep.
I think he could very easily
be a champion. His teammate Joey got fired for not being able to win at JGR. Now he's got 2.
Went to Penske and won 2.
Yep.
Right. Speaking of Joey Logano, last week he screws up, gets in a wreck. Tow truck driver don't know if he wants a push or a pull. So Joey Logano dog cusses this guy for 1:30 on the TV or on the video.
Yeah, he didn't know his mic was hooked up. He's a prima donna.
I guarantee you there's 37 other drivers that didn't know a microphone was hooked up into that camera either, that now know there is nothing you can say in that car and get away with it.
Well,
we're really lucky Joey held it together somewhat.
Don't forget, he's Italian from the Northeast.
I only got one. Well, I have a lot of problems with Joey Logano. Never mind. My newest main problem with Joey Logano.
You're pissed off when I picked him for the.
I know. I was pissed off that you picked him, but he screws me every time I pick him, and he didn't screw you this week.
Ross screws me though.
Ross screws me every time. I'm still pissed off you picked him. He screws me when I pick him. You pick him, he doesn't screw me or screw you. You get away with it. It kind of pisses me off. But you think anybody's really shocked that Ross is such a? I mean, not Ross. That Joey's such a
same people,
a douchebag.
Joey admits he's an asshole on the track, but
all right, well, he
two-faced off of it.
If I was that, I think Door Bumper Clear said it best. If they would have been that tow truck driver going around turn 3, they would have done a loop-de-loop, swung him around like he was on a tube hanging on behind a boat.
Yeah,
I would have went down in the infield and just like, as Joey's cussing me, I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what you're saying. I thought you said turn right.
Take him to the wrong garage.
Just take him to the campground and drop him off.
Yeah, right next to the tent campers.
Yeah. Because they're all fans.
With the Bud Light in their helmet hat. With the tubes going down to their mouths.
Just take them and drop them off over by the other.
Dressed like they're from St. Paul.
By those guys that are wearing the Dale Earnhardt number 3 hats.
Yeah.
These guys will love Joey Logano. Here, Joey, go meet some of our new friends. They'll help you get your car fixed.
Count laps, so they hold the number 3 up for 500 laps.
Joey Logano is the idiot going, I think these tow truck drivers, they could easily change all 4 tires on the embankment and not have to pull us around on 4 flats. These tow truck drivers, I'm sorry, Joey, I've seen them. They struggle walking up the embankment to get debris.
Are they required to weigh 300 pounds to work on the rescue crew?
When you're overweight and you can't qualify to be a police officer, that's when you become a NASCAR track official worker.
That's pretty fat.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen some cops that was like, no way he's keeping up with a guy on the run. But those track official guys, there's no way they're making it all the way up that steep 28-degree bank. They try, though, boy.
Do
you remember the one
they
recently,
fall and roll.
One recently fell not long ago, and it got caught on video of him rolling down the track. It was hilarious. Speaking of rolling down the track, Austin Dillon throws his helmet. I wrote at Ty Dillon, but it was actually
that'd been awesome if he threw it at Ty.
It was not Ty Dillon that he threw his helmet at. It was Tyler Reddick.
You think Ty's got a future in racing after this season?
No, God, no. Ty, after this season, Ty Dillon is lucky to have a future in team management. He's going to be working the museum.
You don't think he's going to be out on the trailer selling T-shirts?
And maybe. He might not even qualify for the museum at RCR anymore.
Well, he does have that truck he can show us out of the 200 cars in it.
Yeah, just that one truck.
Where's my truck?
Here's my truck. Look, Austin Dillon has to be the only guy who can pull off a move that was made one of the most badass moves in NASCAR history by Tony Stewart throwing a helmet. Austin Dillon's the only one who can pull that move and become the laughing stock of NASCAR. That throw looked like my grandma throwing it from a wheelchair, dude.
Looks like it was kind of challenging for him.
He could have underhanded it and made it look cooler than what he did.
Bowled it.
Yeah.
Jammed it under the car or something. Jeez.
That's a $5,000 mistake.
He and his daddy and grandfather are big hunters. Doesn't he know lead the target?
Apparently not, because it was pathetic, man. I think from what I heard all week, he caught crap. Nobody had anything good to say. Now, he did come back and finish, 9th this week? So, and I mean, at least you backed it up with something better than a 40th place finish. So,
yeah, it's pretty bad when you're 40th and there's only 36 cars.
Go talk to Tony. Corey LaJoie dumps Ryne Preece on the last lap, causing the race to end under caution at Pocono. Ryne Preece is apparently having a really rough year. So he goes up to Corey LaJoie after the race, reaches in his car, has some really not so nice things to say to Corey, and immediately NASCAR security. Actually, it wasn't NASCAR security.
What do you think?
It was Corey LaJoie's team broke it up, pulled Ryne Preece off.
What do you think Corey said? Don't hit me face?
I thought, no, Corey LaJoie said he saw Ryne Preece coming,
pulled his shield
so
down.
He shut his visor, yeah. No, my problem is the crew pulling Ryne Preece off of Corey. I thought NASCAR said, under no circumstance whatsoever,
Corey should have rolled up his window.
Can the team guys touch a NASCAR driver? But because it's Corey, they let it go. I think there should have been some penalties last week for a couple different things, but NASCAR did absolutely nothing. I had a problem with Kyle Larson under caution, passing the car and coming up there and hitting Denny Hamlin under caution. I had an issue with that. I mean, whatever. I mean, that's just me, but I had a problem with it. Also announced this last week, the CW is picking up NASCAR Xfinity Series starting in 2025. This is kind of interesting because the CW is an over-air network, meaning you just get an antenna and you can watch. You can download their app for free.
I got the CW on my smart TV because I like that show, The Flash.
Well, there you go. So the CW, you can watch for free. So it was rumored that at one time, I think we talked about it.
They were going to stream it or something.
It was going to be streaming only, but now the CW picks them up for 5-6 years.
But it's $1 billion almost, just short.
I hope. Well, that tells you what the Cup package. Actually, I think the Cup package will probably be a little over $1 billion then, because it doesn't come with Xfinity Series. Now you're going to have the.
Well, CW doesn't even have to have the production crew. It's NASCAR.
Golly, are you serious?
All they do is bring the on-air talent. That's it.
Who brings the on-air talent?
CW.
Okay.
But all the cameras and all that stuff, the feed.
That's NASCAR.
It's NASCAR. They carry the burden.
Well, the CW, I just hope they don't phone it in like the Truck Series does with Fox.
Well, the Fox studio in Charlotte's already occupied by Fox.
That's what I'm saying.
So we're going to have to rent it.
I don't know. They need to go to the track. I do not think you should be allowed to broadcast any of our races if you can't show up at the racetrack.
But it's all about the cash, dude.
Nobody's going to watch this crap if you keep broadcasting from a studio in a basement at Brian Francis' house.
The beauty of selling the rights to broadcast it is you're collecting the money no matter how good or bad they do. NBC is 100% 1,000 times better on their coverage for the Cup Series.
Yes.
Compared to Fox.
NBC even did a better job Saturday for the Xfinity race. And the Xfinity race was broadcast from Richmond by the broadcast team. They didn't send them to Road America. So, congratulations.
I was wondering how they were going to get back to call the race on Sunday.
I didn't realize they weren't at Road America until somebody on Twitter said, look, I think you guys did a great job, but it would have been better if you would have been at the track. I hope this doesn't become a theme.
Well, I kind of felt like they weren't there, but I wasn't sure.
I guess I was half paying attention, half not paying attention because I couldn't tell if they were there or not. It didn't. I mean, there was some things they missed, I guess, I can think back on, but it wasn't. The Xfinity Series is becoming a shit show anyway, in my opinion. Like, these guys cannot race without completely destroying crap. It don't matter if they're at Pocono or if they're at Road America.
Less than the Truck Series.
It's getting to be neck and neck. The Truck Series is almost unwatchable with the stupid broadcast being called from house. I like Harson.
Harson?
Hosen
Carsavar.
Carson Hocevar. I have no idea if I spelled that right.
Harson.
So congratulations to Carson Hocevar. He won the race. The Truck Series.
You can tell Fox was mailing that sucker in.
It was horrible.
I think they ought to give it to the CW.
I can't wait to hear Carson on DBC though. Which is, I don't know if Freddie will be on there.
Oh, is Harson going this week?
He's supposed to, but I don't know if Freddie's going to be on there now after his dad passed away. So I think it would be better if Freddie was there. But
it's his dad. So
Sam Mayer won the Xfinity race. Justin Allgaier led the whole race pretty much, and it turned into a crapshoot at the end, a wreck fest.
What's up with?
I'm glad to see Junior Motorsports finally get a win this season, though.
They are fighting each other. They're kind of driving like Joe Gibbs drivers. Like there is no team.
It's horrible, man. Richmond happened.
I saw it.
Look,
it was so.
I saw people on Twitter
freaking bad that I was recording it. And I caught up because there was no action.
There was people on Twitter who were getting mad, going, I'm glad that wreck at the end happened because if it wouldn't had, all those people going to vote no on Jeff Gluck's poll, but now they got some excitement so they can vote yes.
They didn't really cover the carnage at the start-finish line.
People were saying this is like old school Richmond racing. Bro, I've been to old school Richmond. This ain't old school Richmond.
It used to be my home track, that in Delaware. No.
Richmond used to have racing, cautions, wrecking, action, bumping, beating, banging, you name it, Richmond had it. Richmond didn't get the name being the action track for strategy, okay? Look, I understand this was a strategy race, and it was mildly to very little entertaining. We needed more beating and
banging, dude. More beating and banging.
We needed more racing. Instead, what we had was guys on 75-lap fresher tires running their way through the whole field. And guess what? When they ran their way through the whole field, the other guys went and got tires, and then they did the same thing. I don't know if that's strategy or just what the heck happened that day, but look, I know you NASCAR purists out there are going to be like, well, you just want beating and banging. You just want entertainment. You don't want racing. You want entertaining. Well, that's NASCAR's fault. I hate to break it to you, but when NASCAR went to the playoffs and went to the stage breaks, they did that crap for entertainment value. They have made all their fans want entertainment versus this purist crap you're talking of. Strategy can be a little entertaining, but I like a good mix of strategy and racing.
I hate the new car.
There you go.
Just hate it.
I mean, you had Rick Allen yesterday all day calling Richmond the action track. I hate to break it to you, Rick. The only action going on at Richmond was in the campground the night before. Not during the race. Even the Truck Series was like drawn out. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know how you fix Richmond.
A different car?
I saw on Twitter that
we need a short track car.
Somebody on Twitter said this is the first time since 2018 that 100% of the cars have started and finished Richmond. 0 DNFs.
Let's shorten the wheelbase. Make the tire skinnier.
Give them 1,000 horsepower.
Give them 1,000 horsepower and
no downforce.
120 seconds of boost.
And no downforce whatsoever.
Nope. I want to boost to pass.
The only caution we had yesterday came with 9 laps to go when 2 guys racing for last place wrecked each other. Yet again, the guys racing in the back bring out a late race caution. At this point, with 9 laps to go, it doesn't matter if we have a caution or not. It's not going to fix the racing. It's not going to fix what I thought about the race. The late race caution was very uneventful. Nothing happened there. It just happened, and it just added another 5 minutes to the race. That's all it did.
It was dumb.
Noah Gregson punted Daniel Soras. That's all that happened. I think Daniel Soras should be sponsored by Preparation H, the hemorrhoid cream. That's what I think. That's all I got out of the whole incident. Noah wrecked Daniel, and I walked away thinking that Daniel Soras should sponsor Preparation H for his.
Well, Noah Gregson should be sponsored by Caliber Collision.
Dude wrecks weekly. It's like,
what is up with the motorcycle club, dude?
Well, then, to top that off, you have more idiots behind them wreck at the end of the race coming across the start-finish line. Not to be left out, Ty Dillion and them Rick Ware boys all get involved in this wreck. So you had J.J. Yaley. I think I wrote Cole Custer, but I believe it was Ryan Newman, if I'm not mistaken, was in that car, right? We can look on our finishing order.
You mean short track Newman?
Yeah. Ryan Newman, J.J. Yaley, A.J. Allmendinger, Austin Cedric, and Ty the Bowling Ball Dillion. All involved on the last lap, come across the finish line crash.
Why are you going to wreck it at the end? Save that car for Martinsville so we can have no excitement there.
Exactly.
Phoenix, shoot.
Speaking of A.J. Allmendinger, he skipped practice and qualifying at Richmond to go finish 9th at Road America.
The Tater Eliminator.
He thought he would be able to go get a win at Road America, but he thought wrong, and he got a loss instead.
He's got to be kind of down on his luck.
I think
this NASCAR thing ain't working out for him.
That's a stupid move, if you ask me. I think if you're in the running for a championship,
he's an Xfinity guy.
Race for the championship.
Yeah.
Ford showed up yesterday. We can say that at least
for a bit.
I mean, they won.
They did.
It was nice to see.
Hey, when's
Roush and Keselowski back in the victory line?
When's bad Brad Keselowski going to get a win?
He had it wrapped up yesterday until he made a mistake. But Christopher's
got 2 wins since he bought in.
Hey, I'm all for it, man. I like Chris Buescher. I
like Brad.
He's a cool guy. I really like Brad. The older Brad gets, the more I like Brad. So I'm good with it.
I liked bad Brad. But
I really wanted Brad to win yesterday. I'll be honest. I was pulling really hard for Brad. But I'll take it. I'm good with Chris Buescher winning. But I don't think they're necessarily the top leader in the Ford pack right now.
I don't know. Who is? Can you still say?
I still think Penske is because Penske runs better.
I can see Penske.
Joey and Blaney run better, but their issues come from their pit crews.
Well,
where
the number 2 car ain't running too well.
Well, he don't count. Daddy's president and lets him race one of their cars is all that is. But no, he doesn't. They have issues, but it's usually pit road issues where Stuart Haas just seems to be struggling across the board. Kevin overdrives the car and gets a little bit better finish sometimes. But all right, here's the question of the week. This will be the question every week we ask until he wins a race. Does Chase Elliott make the playoffs, Jamie, after Pocono and Richmond?
No.
You don't think he makes it with a win or on points?
He's got to win.
He's currently 20th in points, 40 points behind 16th. He's in 20th place behind Ty Gibbs, A.J. Allmendinger, Soras.
He looks dejected in his eyes when he's interviewed after a race. He ain't got it this year. He's not mentally fit to win. I like the guy. I'm a homer, but he ain't got it this year.
Even if he makes it at this point, what are you expecting?
Bounced out of the 16.
What are you expecting out of him?
Bounced out of the Sweet 16.
Although he is the most consistent. I mean, it's like
he's
top 15 consistent. He's got to win. I don't think he points his way in. I think he has to win his way in.
Maybe he'll grow a attitude and let it come out in the microphones when they shove it in his pie holes.
No, I don't see that.
He needs to. He needs to get angry. He needs to spit the truth like a pastor on Sunday.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Speak the truth, Elliot. When you wreck a guy, said, you know what? He pissed me off. I wrecked him.
Elliot ain't like that. Elliot's more of a shy guy
Still going.
Has no personality whatsoever.
Something wrong with my steering wheel. I don't know
what
happened.
We got Michigan left. It's a 2-mile track. I think Hendricks is going to show up this weekend. I think they're going to make sure Chase has the best car out of the camp. So it comes down to Chase's driving. Then you got the Indy Road Course where I think Shane Van Winkler is going to win. Then you got Watkins Glen Road Course where Chase Elliott very well could win. There. And then you got Daytona where I think Michael McDowell's going to win.
Well, he's a super speeder. Oh, Chase can win.
Chase can win at every one of those.
I don't feel that he has it this year. He needs to regroup at the end of even if he wins one race, he needs to go see a sports psychologist and get the killer instinct back.
I just think because he missed those races, it's just his mind is just not where it needs to be. His mindset's not in it. That's all.
He's given up. He had the killer instinct behind the wheel. He never had it on the microphone, but he don't have it behind the wheel this year.
I agree.
He's mailing it in. Sorry, Chase. Love you, but you're mailing it in.
That's kind of what I think. I think because he missed those races, he's just phoning it in. Unfortunately, I don't think he's trying.
No, I don't think so either.
All right. Well, the Jeff Gluck poll, was Richmond a good race?
I buy all my parts at Napa.
Do you?
They never have his hat in stock.
They sell his hat at the store?
No, I've never seen it. I ask for it every time.
I've never seen it for sale at the store. I think you got to go to Chase Elliott's website to buy it so he can make
Why
sure
won't
he
they
gets all the
sell
proceeds.
it? Give them a taste of the profits.
I don't think so.
They're sponsoring them.
Yeah, they're sponsoring him. Therefore, Chase isn't going to sell his likeness in the store for zero profit. I don't see that happening.
Just put Napa Racing on the hat.
I don't see that
number 9.
Yeah, but that's all.
Part of I
have to leave Chase and the number 9 off the hat.
Part of my money buying my parts from Napa must go to sponsor him.
Good race, yes or no, Jamie?
That was no race.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It was a traffic jam.
The strategy was mildly entertaining.
Oh, let's call it strategically.
I will say, watching Hocevar run through the field and beat Majesty to win, Ty Majesty to win the race.
Ty had it too.
Yeah,
I was like, "What?"
I give that
God's name.
I give that one to Hocevar. That was actually entertaining to watch. But yesterday, watching everybody cycle through the field was not entertaining. Mildly. I'll say that there was a slight tinge of mildness. But as far as on the Jeff Gluck poll goes, I voted no. Jamie would have voted no if he used X, but he doesn't use X.
I use
anymore.
X. I hate X.
I like calling it
I'm from Gen X, and I don't like X. It still calls it a tweet. Have you noticed that?
Based on the new stats released, 1984 is the first year of millennials, so I am a millennial now.
Okay, well, they keep changing it.
I was a Gen X. I've been a millennial. I've been nothing. I've been in between the two. There was a couple year period where there's like 3 years where we were nothing. So,
well, at least you're not a boomer.
I kind of identify with X and
if you're a boomer and you listen to us, I'm not making fun of you. Keep listening.
All right, Jamie. Michigan coming up. If we were going to Detroit, where would we not want to stay at?
Pretty much the whole state. Actually, they say the camping and the lakes nearby this track is really nice. The Irish Hills.
Heck yeah. Give us some reviews there.
All right, let's go. Let's go. I got a really good one here. Brad found this one. Samantha did it out of Grand Ledge.
We're starting with it?
Grand Ledge.
Grand Ledge?
Yep, she gave it 1 out of 5.
1 out of 5.
And guys, we're not telling you the brand of these hotels. That's a favor to you.
And us.
Because you need to read these reviews before you set up a reservation. Or you will be
also
disappointed.
Our legal team has advised us.
Our pro bono lawyer who charges $0
has advised us not to mention the name. So
he says he's not pro bono if we get sued.
Exactly.
So,
but he also listens every week, and so far, so good.
I said we slipped 1 week. We named the hotels.
Yeah, but I mean, even with the name, most likely we're fine.
Well, with that brand, they probably don't have the money to sue us.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that particular week, they weren't even franchise or chain hotels. That was like Bubba's Inn and
when you got $0,
Daryl's Roadside Crack Shack.
What do you win when you got $0 to start with?
Nothing.
Negative?
Nothing. You get a bag.
You got a bill to your lawyer.
You get a free bag of Terry Lynn's nuts. That's all you get.
Lynn's nuts, dude.
Yeah, they're gourmet. All right, Samantha, where'd she stay? What'd she say? Well, not where she
stayed in a hotel.
What'd she say?
She said, my recent stay at the motel was nothing short of a nightmare.
Nothing.
From the moment I stepped into the lobby, the staff's rudeness was evident. Their lack of hospitality and dismissive attitudes made me question my decision to stay there.
That's what made you question
Maybe
your
you should have questioned your existence, Samantha.
Maybe you should have read. What the hell's that beeping noise, Sunshine?
There's someone texting me. I don't know how it's going through. It must be a child or a parent. I thought I went to airplane mode.
I thought you went to silent.
To make matters worse, the room I was assigned to was nothing short of a disaster. It was moldy and damp, emitting a
pungent.
God dang it! There's too many syllables in this word. Pungent odor that made it difficult
2 syllables,
to breathe.
Jackass.
I was going to say pungent.
Pungent. Had that pungent on the wall.
I had to hold my breath just to spend a few minutes inside. The lack of cleanliness was appalling, and I shudder to think about the potential health hazards.
She must be an English teacher.
Is she bouncing around naked, dragging her butt on the floor like a dog that's constipated?
Well, that's a health hazard.
The bathroom was an adventure of its own. Well,
it always is.
It's not supposed to be Six Flags. It's just a bowl,
you get on
a tub, and a sink. Honey, squirt a little more of that shampoo there on the edge.
Flush it again. Flush it again.
Slide in.
Flush it again.
Slide right in. It's like a water slide. Watch me. The bathroom was a venture of its own. I'll spare you the gory details, but let's just say I felt like I needed a biohazard suit just to enter. And the amenities they boasted about online are non-existent unless you count the single, only, itty-bitty bar of soap that looked like it had been used by 1,000 other unfortunate souls. I hate when that happens.
I get so pissed off.
I want to unwrap the soap.
When there's pubic hair already on the soap, it really does make me mad.
I want to unwrap the soap.
Soap on a rope.
Have you noticed Marriott's gone to those pump things they put up on the wall?
Yeah, I don't trust those either. Because, like, what if the cleaning dude doesn't like you and dude's in there or something?
I bring my own.
I do too. I bring my own bar of soap. I ain't got no hair, man. I'm bald. I don't like that shampoo. I just grab a bar of Dove soap and I'm good to go.
If that wasn't bad enough, I couldn't help but notice the unsettling presence of clowns around the premises. No, that's an instant no.
I hate clowns.
What are they clowning around in the parking lot? I'm not sure what management was thinking. Well, they sold out the rooms to a clown convention.
There's no way I'd stay in this
hotel.
Clowns,
man. My parents.
I hate clowns. They're evil.
Barn and Bailey Circus when I was a kid. I think I cried the whole way through until they took me home early.
I hate clowns, man. They're
evil. It certainly did not create a welcoming environment. The eerie feeling it brought me made me uneasy throughout my stay. Were they constantly out in the parking lot?
She doesn't really go into detail about the clowns.
3-ring circus?
She says they were present on the premises.
Moreover, there was a distinct smell of methamphetamine. How do you know what it smells like? I don't know what it smells like.
It smells like methamphetamine out here.
Does it smell like the...
Quick, get the clowns. We have methamphetamine gases out here.
I mean, we joke about it all the time, but I don't think if you did a taste test or a sniff test, I could tell you, oh yeah, that's definitely methamphetamines.
I mean, I've heard people say they weren't doing cocaine, they were just smelling it. Is it?
Really? I was using my nose to distinguish whether that was pure cocaine or not.
I wasn't sure if it was cocaine or...
Hey, hand me that straw.
It could be sweet and low. We better check it out.
Remember those 80s movies?
That's sugar.
They used a chrome straw? Or gold straw.
So I say,
because they were rich cocaine heads.
One of the dumbest things I ever did. We were like
cocaine.
Third or fourth
grade. You were snorting cocaine.
We snorted a pixie stick.
Oh,
you want to talk about a brain freeze? Oh my God!
Straight up sugar with food coloring.
Me and a buddy of mine split a pixie stick in half and just turned them up in our nose, snorting like crazy to see what it would do. And it hurt so bad.
Did you tell your mom you snorted a pixie stick?
I probably had to because my snot was like green that day when I got home, like blue and red.
Were you swimming in that pond, boy? I told you not to swim in that pond. It got some kind of weird green crap in there.
Told you be careful eating all that potted meat, Brad. It's going to mess you up one day, turn your snot all blue.
I hope you didn't swallow none of that stuff. You're going to be pissing and pooping green.
You get the blue snot.
Time for a booster.
So she had methamphetamine in the air.
Well, additionally,
I can see it.
It was evident that something shady was happening on the property.
Oh, no.
Additionally, I witnessed what seemed to like possible prostitution transaction. Were the clowns involved?
What seemed like a possible prostitution transaction.
But it was taking place, which only added to the unsafe and unsavory atmosphere. I want to know what the clowns were doing with these hookers.
What does it say? The clowns.
Hookers, clowns, and blow.
Are they clown hook? Dude, we've literally had hookers, clowns, and blow in this one review.
To top it off, it appears that this motel attracts unwanted attention. Well, probably. Dude, you got clowns running around. You got hookers and blow. It was the mere thought of this is enough to make any sensible traveler run for the hills. Well,
yep.
Irish Hills, you could run there and watch a race.
Amen.
I cannot stress enough how important it is to steer clear of this motel. The rude staff, creepy clowns, revolting moldy rooms, and disturbing smells make it an experience.
That smell of methamphetamine creeping down the hallway.
I would not want to wish upon anyone. Choose safety and comfort over cheap rates and find a better place to stay. Yeah.
Every time.
Agreed.
Every time you should choose comfort over safety.
Yeah.
Or was it the other way around?
It's amazing what an extra $20 will get you in a hotel room.
Choose safety and comfort over cheap rates. Oh, dude, it literally, you pay $50 more than whatever that hotel was. I guarantee you're out of Hilton.
You're going from
you're talking $100
2.5 to almost a 4. 4.2.
$50. Is that not worth
Holiday
not having
Inn.
The smell of methamphetamine hit you in the face when you get off the elevator?
You could do that hotel we stayed at in Oklahoma wasn't bad. You could do the only Wyndham chain that's decent.
Laquita. That's it, right?
Uh-huh.
That was a nice one.
They were very helpful.
I mean, we were only there for like 3 hours. We checked in at like 2 a.m. and left at 4.
Yep.
Maybe not 4, but that's when we
6.
saw
we went to that place that was supposed to be
and went and talked to us.
Yeah, at the restaurant.
Right. Hello.
Then we went to the McDonald's and they threw coffee at you.
That was like, that should have been the worst.
They didn't like us in that town. La
Dude,
Quinta
we
was
started that day in Oklahoma and ended it in Georgia. That's insane.
La Quinta was our high point.
Yes.
For our time in Oklahoma.
We literally stayed in La Quinta just that morning. I do think we checked in at like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Was it Oklahoma City or Tulsa? I don't remember.
It was outside. It was before you get to Oklahoma City. And then
west of it.
Yes. West of Oklahoma City. And we had been driving since Kingsman, Arizona. So we had a full day. I mean, dude, we did some driving. But we became Cannonball Run champions while we were doing that driving.
What would you call our return home? It only took an extra day.
Hell.
The Dixie Run champions?
I don't know. It's the Prius champions, I guess. The Cannonball backwards champions.
I'm going to call it
maybe a ball pit champion.
Let's call it the Burt Reynolds Championship because he actually filmed the Cannonball Run in Georgia, and that was our final destination. It was also our starting point.
It was also eastbound and down.
It was the Burt Reynolds.
We loaded up and trucked
Cannonball Run.
We did what they say can't be done.
We did.
We had a long way to go.
We did.
And a short time to get there. We were eastbound and down. You should have just seen old Bandit run.
We did not live it up at the Hotel California, though.
Put your foot down on the pedal.
Yep.
We never minded those brakes.
Keep on trucking. Well, we got some other ones here. Debbie.
It
might be related to Samantha.
Probably.
She stayed in Lansing.
Debbie, Samantha's sister.
Which is like an hour north of the Irish Hills.
All right.
She stayed there for 2 days because she says that. I stayed here for 2 days.
Nice.
1 out of 5 she gave it.
That's not 1/5 then. Okay, good.
Yeah. That'd be a fifth of vodka. She brought a fifth of vodka.
She gave this 1/5.
You needed some vodka on this.
How's it going? As a guy was drunk.
She got. I think this is TMI. She gives us too much information.
Oh, that's this lady.
Yeah. I stayed here for 2 days, and the first evening, someone walked into my room while I was laying in bed naked.
What a dumb. Why you lay there naked in a hotel with your room unlocked?
Well, it gets worse for her. She didn't check for bed bugs. As I got out of the bed, my immediate reaction was to say, "Someone is in here." Wrong room. Well, why didn't she end it with an exclamation point so we could go, "Someone's in here! Wrong room!" But she didn't. She did a comma.
He was just getting pictures of the room for
And by the time I got to the hallway, the person was gone. I noticed I had welts all over my body. Was she naked then, too?
Oh, yeah. She doesn't say she got dressed. So she's still, for the remainder of this reading, unless she states that she got redressed, we're referring to her as naked.
Look, she could not even entice her husband to get in the bed with her naked. My husband said he was not getting in the bed.
Mm-hmm. And she's still naked.
I immediately went downstairs, probably naked.
Still naked. Like I said,
she hasn't said I put on my clothes or bathrobe.
So we're assuming she's still naked. She went to the front.
She reported this. As I assume they accidentally issued a duplicate key to someone, and this made me feel entirely uncomfortable. I was told to wait for the manager who could assist with the issue. After waiting 10 minutes in the lobby, a woman who I assume was the manager walked right past me and said absolutely nothing. I called after her asking if she was a manager, and her response was yes. I explained my situation, to which she was well aware of, and provided a half-assed apology, stating that it was just the cleaning staff that had come.
Well, at least it was a half-assed apology. You know, you could have got no ass.
Well, you know,
no apology
that can happen to you. That's why you hang the do not disturb or try later.
Or you just lay there naked and wait on somebody to walk in and catch you, because that's what you're into. I think that's what Debbie is forgetting to tell us, is she's into
Debbie,
being caught.
Actually,
she's down here in the lobby as far as we know.
She does make sense here, though. I told her I didn't believe her since the room was trash, and I cleaned it after we checked in.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Was she naked while she was cleaning it?
Probably.
Debbie, put some dang clothes on. Nobody wants to see all that. Nobody wants to see your giblets, Debbie. Put them up.
She's also has bug bites, extra nipples.
Nobody wants to see your giblets and your
30 nipples.
Your 32 extra nipples.
She stated that they knocked, heard no answer, and entered, but promptly exited once they realized that someone was occupying the room.
Well, I mean,
she did say, "Hey, occupied."
Yeah, and they saw her naked, so they're like, "Oh, we gotta go. She's naked."
She had 2 issues with this, though. She says this.
Of course she did.
First, there was no knock.
There's no making Debbie
I was awake, reading a book naked. She's really proud about being naked.
Obviously.
Huh. You know, I shower naked.
Yeah. Well, most people do.
If I use the bathtub, I do it naked.
Most people do. But do you go down to the front desk after you get out of the shower naked and complain?
No.
You're like, "Hey, I'm telling y'all, I got in that shower and the water made my wiener smaller. I am mad. I want my money back."
Now, to just be honest here,
you would want to be standing there naked if you're having that conversation.
I was about 13. Had me a little surfboard, and I was at the beach surfing.
Naked?
I had clothing on. But I had purchased a surf suit.
A wetsuit?
No, just a bathing suit. That was too large for me. Now I cinched it up with a rope up front. But I wiped out.
What kind of rope? Are we talking like?
Oh, the string where you cinch it up. It's sewed.
That comes with it.
Yeah, it's sewed into the waist.
Okay, I'm just picturing you getting some of your daddy's rope off the back of the tractor.
I had a bad wipeout and hit some undertow, and it actually ripped my bathing suit, my surf shorts off. I was naked in the water.
What'd you do?
Well, my dad kept yelling at me, saying he was yelling from the condo balcony, "Dinner time! Get in here! What are you doing?" And I stayed there.
I can't do it, Daddy.
He walked out in his flip-flops, took them off, walked out in the water, and I said, "My bathing suit's gone."
You never found it?
No, and you know what he did to embarrass me?
Did you walk back with it?
He just went to my stuff and got a towel.
Well, at least he got you a towel. It didn't make you walk back bare ass all the way to the room.
But you have to hold that towel because waves are breaking on you. You have to come out and show your wiener to people just to wrap the towel around. Luckily, it was evening.
You ain't had no problem showing your wiener.
I had no wiener either.
You didn't have no problem showing your wiener to everybody at the whitewater rafting trip when you changed your pants by the door of the car.
Well, by the time I hit my older age when we were whitewater, I decided it's what I got. I ain't going to be ashamed.
I mean, everybody
at 13, I was like...
Everybody walking by got a show.
I didn't hide it, but... That was when we worked for Lynn's Nuts.
Terry Lynn's.
Yep, Terry Lynn's Nuts. Crunchy and spicy and sugary.
You can't go wrong with fresh Terry Lynn's Nuts. That's terrylyns.com if you're wondering.
Quality nuts there, folks.
Where are we going next?
Well, she's got second. Second, housekeeping had clearly never serviced the room.
Well, we already know that because
when I left earlier that day, I don't know if she was dressed or not. So why on earth would they come back? The whole thing sounded completely off. The manager was anything but emphatic.
Empathetic.
To the situation and offered no way to make this right.
Duh. He got his pictures of her naked. He ain't trying to see her again. He's already posted it on Wiki.
Well, I added that accidentally because it said it was a woman further up. All the whole hotels in the area were booked as there was an event happening. It's probably that clown convention.
Probably the clown convention.
Yeah, that weekend. Wink, wink. What? Oh, yeah. I had to email this to Brad last night and said, hey, she said, wink, wink, upside down pineapples and pink flamingos with these bed bug bites. I'll be left alone. Yeah. So I didn't know what pink flamingos meant.
Yeah, and if you watch this show, you learned what upside down pineapples mean too.
You had to Google that too.
It's a swingers thing. So
if you got pink flamingos at the campground,
you're a swinger.
Pretty much.
Or if you have an upside down pineapple at your
I wouldn't know that.
Because we're not swingers.
But what if you accidentally had a pineapple, like a real one, right? In a bucket of champagne at your campground.
Yeah.
And you like flamingos. You posted that in the ground too. You ate pretty much the whole pineapple, but you flipped it over and you threw it in your champagne bucket, and they saw that you had a pink flamingo and an upside down pineapple, and they're going to come over banging on that door.
I don't think that's happening, man. I think
I didn't know there's this many swingers in the world.
I
thought that was something I read when I was 13 reading penthouse letters.
When you were naked on your surfboard?
Fake. Yeah, when I was naked on my surfboard.
No, I don't think that there's nobody who's ever mistakenly had an upside down pineapple and a pink flamingo at their RV. Had two old ladies and a dude walk in and go, let's swing.
Well, I had a pineapple planter in front of my house once.
That's like Southwest Virginia crap right there, man. Let's swing. Come on. Swingers. Get down, get down, get down.
You know, my wife and I, when we were first married, we
didn't try swinging.
No. We didn't try it, but we went out with
there should never be a butt there.
We went out with another couple, and there were some weird hints. We didn't hang out with them anymore. We were talking in the car ride back home going, gee, what was that?
Well, this next one's 1/5 pimp and hooker too.
Yes, 1/5 fifth of whiskey.
So would that be 2/5 then? If it's a pimp and a hooker?
I would think so.
I would too. You got a quarter at that point.
They stayed in Madison Heights, Michigan.
I just hope the city of Madison Heights doesn't decide to sue us now for reading this.
Well, this is there. I mean, won't they have to sue this hotel we're not naming?
Exactly.
So anyway, we got into our room and it smelled of smoke and sperm and female vaginal mucus.
How does it smell like smoke and sperm, dude?
And female mucus.
No,
vaginal mucus. I don't know.
Sperm.
I don't know.
What does sperm?
I've never stuck my nose in it to get a whiff.
I've never, ever, ever in my life walked in a room and go, smell that sperm in here. It smells like sperm in here.
That's why they review this anonymously.
Here
you go.
This is a 1/5. You take 1/5 sperm in 1/5 vaginal mucus and 1/5 smoke. Shake it all up.
Dude.
You got pimps and hookers.
This is good. He also pulled back the bed spray and black bug was scattering, dragging a used condom. The hookers
There's your sperm smell.
Yeah. The hookers had meth acid swords the size of golf balls on their face. That's really disgusting. No teeth in their head.
None.
Do you have extra teeth in it, or is that
in the side, like
other than your mouth?
She got bit, but she got a.
She
was smoking a crack.
I was not here for that nonsense.
No, I didn't stay here for that.
But if that's your thing, this place is for you. Just saying, if you want your Johnson crawling up your stomach and asking for the all clear, this is the place. My wife's vagina jumped out and called it and went home.
She didn't want on that sperm.
Wow.
She didn't want that sperm crawling off the floor up the leg.
I have to say that's fun. That is funny.
You need that cooter shooter to keep that sperm off the leg.
uterus just went out and hitched the ride home.
It was so nasty, my dick jumped off and left. I said, "Get back here, Weena. Come back, come back."
I called a cab to take us to Detroit, and he couldn't not believe we were staying there. I now see why. When we got back to the parking lot, it was filled with hookers, drug dealers, and pimps.
That's the smoke smell. All the smells come from that.
That's why it smelled like mucus and sperm. I was asked what I wanted, and they gave me a list of things I could purchase, and none were legal. I went and bought a blanket to lay on top of the covers, and we heard mice in the walls and other things getting into our food.
Why would you leave your food out?
I wouldn't have even brought food.
No, I wouldn't even park there. I'd have parked down the street.
That's an eat at McDonald's situation.
Yes, inside. You're better off eating in the bathroom stall at a rest area than this place. If you ever walk in a room and say it smells like sperm
and female mucus,
you might be in a bad area of town.
Yeah.
It's like you might be a redneck, except worse.
We could hear all kinds of conversations in the parking lot. The room next to us must have been the I'll be nice and make love room, because you knew everything they were doing. I heard a woman scream, "Hey, you can't put it in there without a warning and some lube. That will be an extra 20.
Well, there's your sperm smell. Ooh, they're adding doo-doo to it as well.
The pool, I would not let my dog swim in.
It smells like doo-doo.
Or my worst enemy. It was disgusting. Things that went on in the parking lot.
Probably had sperm in that pool.
You don't want your children to see that or hear it. The red roof across the street is 100% better. The motel is a joke and should be torn down.
Dude, we stayed in a red roof and it was fairly nice.
It was sketchy though. It was clean.
We slept there for like 13 hours though, so.
It was clean.
It could have been this hotel. We probably would have slept in it at that point.
Yeah, by the time we woke up,
yeah,
if there was meth hookers,
it would have mattered.
And black bugs dragging condoms, they were gone.
Jamie, you smell that? It smells like sperm in this room. Dude, I cannot get... I've never in my life...
He's a porn star, I think.
Man, it smelled like sperm in there. Never, ever have I used sperm to describe the smell of something. That's a sticker. We got to make a sticker. Smells like sperm.
Ooh.
All right, so we are going to race in Michigan next week at 2:30 on USA or MRN. Michigan is a 2-mile oval track. The last race there, the top 10 and their 3-race average finishes. We'll start with the winner of last year's race, Kevin Harvick, with an average finish of 5.3. Bubba Wallace, average finish of 14. Denny Hamlin, average finish of 3.3. Joey Loganos, average finish 14. Ryan Blaney, average finish 14.7. Martin Truex Jr. has an average finish of 6.3. Kyle Larson's average finish is 5.0. Eric Jones' average finish of 17.7.
Motorcycle Club's dumb for the year. He doesn't even have a chance.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. Alex Bowman, average finish of 20.3. Ty Gibbs has only raced there once other than what's coming up this weekend, so he has an average finish of 10th, as he finished 10th there last year. Chase Elliott, average finish 9.3. William Byron's average finish is 8.7.
Who you gonna pick, Brad? What's her total?
Overall score, Jamie is now killing me with a score of 906 to me at 960. Remember, the lower score wins. Last week at Richmond, I had Bush, Byron, and Elliott for a total of 35 points, and Jamie had Hamlin, Chastain, and Loganos for a total of 30 points. Jamie, you are beating me overall and last week. Therefore, I get to pick first this week. All right. I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin out of 1 through 10.
He's actually doing quite well lately.
My pick from 11th to 20th is going to be...
There's some good picks in there.
I'm going to go Chase Elliott. Dude's got to win, right?
I don't think he's going to win. I don't think his heart's in it this year. What about your bottom feeders?
21 to 36. Let's see. Ty Dillon's available. Corey LaJoie's available. Harrison Burton. Justin Haley. Haley's going to Rick Ware Racing, so he'll be able to finish one spot better soon. Noah Gregson's available. Austin Hendrick.
You got Chastain.
Yeah, you got Chastain.
McDowell.
You got Chastain last week. I'll go with Byron.
Well, Byron's a good pick. I think he's going to win a championship this year if it ain't Denny.
He hasn't been good the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, he's got some girl problems.
Oh, okay.
You know who he's dating, don't you?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No. William? He's a girlfriend?
Ryan Blaney.
William Byron's dating Ryan Blaney?
Ryan Blaney's
I did not know they were gay.
They were gay.
You said he's dating Ryan Blaney?
No, his sister.
Oh!
No, they didn't. They ain't come out.
It wasn't going to shock me. Yeah, he's dating Aaron Blaney.
Uh-huh.
I did know that. I didn't.
For years now.
I didn't remember it until you said it, but now I remember it. At first,
for years.
At first, dude, you gave me a scare because I've met William. I met his mom. I've met his dad. They're nice folks.
He seems like a nice guy.
Seems like a nice. He seems
like
attending
Liberty University.
But he's a kid.
I was so bored, I listened to the people calling the race. I don't know what year he's in.
Did you hear when they're calling the race? They congratulate, or on the last lap, Rick Allen's like, leading the last lap is Chris Buescher at 30 years old from Prospect, Texas. Population 30,000. How the hell is that relevant?
I heard that. And
Who cares what the population is of the town this dude was born in?
Who cares?
Can you not come up with something more interesting to say, Rick? He's only won like 3 races in his career. We haven't run out of cool things to say about Chris Buescher.
Hey, my co-host is Brad. He is from Stockbridge with a population of 32,416.
The only way that would even be remotely funny is if it was like population 30.
I'm from Forsyth, Georgia, with a population of 4,312.
All right, who you picking, Jamie?
All right, my number one pick.
Chris Buescher.
Nope. Nope.
Joey Loganos.
I'm going with a different Ford. Kevin desperately wants to win. He's going to wreck some people out.
Kevin Harvick.
Yep. Then my mid-pack here. Kyle's about full of this crap. He ain't taking it no more. I'm going with Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson.
Oh, Kyle. Named after Kyle Petty. His buddy Roo.
He was his daddy.
Hey, buddy Roo.
Hey, Dad. Dad, am I
Ben Ginsberger.
We got to say that in 2 weeks.
He's gonna win again.
I know.
The last 10. I
wrote Kyle Petty down.
I'm gonna give you a chance. I'm gonna consider this a super speedway, and I'm going Michael McDowell.
I knew you was gonna agree with him.
It's all Fords, isn't it? No, Kyle. I got one Chevy. No Toyotas. Did you go to buildasubmarine.com for Brad Kozlowski? Can you really build one? They got kits? I have not gone.
Is that really there?
Yeah, it's the last 2 races. It's buildasubmarine.com's a sponsor. Or is that a sandwich shop?
No way.
Is it Jimmy John's?
Is this the same sub that just imploded? This is bad timing on your sponsorship picks. If the Titan sub implodes going to visit the Titanic in the next week, Brad Keselowski
that exploded for stupidity.
Well, if you're building your own submarine at home,
that's what they kind of did.
It's one thing to build a foamy camper to go camping in, but to build a submarine to go down into the water is stupid.
Do you think you could get a glass-lined water heater and make that your submarine?
That's stupid.
Put a motor on it?
That's like going over Niagara Falls in a wooden barrel.
You're jumping down their ass. We don't even know what buildasubmarine.com is.
Either way, it's stupid.
Maybe it's for the Navy.
It's a build a submarine Ford, too. You know, them Fords can barely run on the streets, much less in the water.
What if it's for Jersey Mike's submarines?
No, it would be build a sub, not a... It says sub... Oh, is it the Marines? Like a sub version of the Marines?
Could be.
Build a sub version of the Marines.
Could be,
Could be a lot of
Frogman getting dry while they go and attack.
No, this is buildsubmarines.com.
Maybe they build submarines. We don't know who the company is.
And you go over Niagara Falls.
Right, there's our assignment for this coming week is find out.
Hey, I learned what PCP is.
Yeah, what is it, man?
I watched that. So we've talked about PCP and angel dust and all that other stuff on the show.
Pretty cute person.
It is a pretty cute person. But actually, according to Stuff You Should Know, it's not really that bad. I mean, it's not good for you. It is a dissociate not translucent. What's the stuff that makes you fall asleep? Tranquilizer. So it is a dissociate tranquilizer. It's supposed to knock you out. And it, as a dissociate...
So they give you this stuff at the hospital when you need to be knocked out?
Not anymore. Okay. So did you know the reason we have tasers or non-lethal forces used by the police, the reason we have those options is because of PCP giving people superhuman strength.
The after-school special with Helen Hunt in it.
That is completely false.
And she jumped out of her drug addiction counseling building and died.
It's completely false. It does not give you superhuman strength. What it does is it disassociates you. So you can be getting pain, but not feel it because you're disassociated from that pain. So you don't know you're in pain. It's not superhuman strength necessarily. It just really makes you an idiot. Did you know that
most drugs make you an idiot?
Somebody, while filming the Titanic, laced the chowder with PCP.
Yeah, I remember that.
That is a 100% true story.
Tripping on the ship.
It is now the old lady. She did not eat the chowder. She was actually out at lunch that day, but James Cameron did. I think it's hilarious.
That's how he changed the ending of that movie.
I didn't know.
I got to rewrite.
I've heard that. I didn't know it was a true story, but apparently it is a true story. So PCP it's made apparently by the Bloods and the Crips in California.
So something you can make in your house, like a submarine?
Yes, you can get it at makeyourownpcp.com. I'm just kidding.
With Lynn's nuts?
When you get done
quality nuts?
When you get done eating your gourmet nuts from Terry Lynn's Nuts, you can build a submarine, or you can find your local Bloods and Crips gang and ask them to get you some PCP. Because literally it says 90-something% of PCP in America is made by the Bloods and the Crips. And you know, Connecticut has the two cities who have the highest use of PCP, which overall in America, PCP is like 0.09%. I wonder why it's so attractive in
Connecticut.
Because some dude up there's got a connection with the Bloods and the Crips in L.A. and they're melon and PCP, and they can't get anything else up there, so everybody's hopped up on PCP, disassociated, running around like a bunch of zombies.
So 1970s to me. Early 80s.
I've never known anybody do PCP.
Well, we didn't even know what it was. So.
Apparently, angel dust is not another name for PCP.
How come they never, on the TV show Miami Vice, they never brought PCP in from Colombia?
Apparently, it was a rave drug, like ketamine. Like Steve-O, remember Steve-O did all that ketamine?
I think he's still doing it. Wasn't he missing for a while?
No, Steve-O's clean now. Now he's like, jacked up bodybuilder.
You notice those addicted people go
that one dude we used to work with, he did a lot of ketamine.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I think the ketamine might have made me stupid, man.
When we worked at Lynn's Nuts.
No. Dude was a great guy, though.
Oh, no.
He was just shot out on ketamine back in the day.
That was like 30 years ago, folks.
Yeah. He's not.
We still know him.
Great guy.
Yeah. He's not on the stuff now.
All right. Well, that's all I got this week. Jamie, how about you?
Nah, that's it.
All right. Well,
let's go racing.
Let's go racing, boys.
Because
let's rock and roll.
Let's do more than we did at Richmond.
Well, thanks everyone who listens, watches the show, shares the videos and our links on social media, tells your friends about it. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you follow us on Twitter or on X. We're at Car Backwards. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe and check out all our videos there. Check us out on Spotify. Make sure to follow and to rate us on Spotify. Subscribe to our show on Apple Podcasts. And make sure you leave us a review like Brandon did. You can always send us a DM or email us any questions you might have to racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com. We'll do our best to answer it on the show. Make sure you check out our merch store and our website, racecarbackwards.com or racecarbackwards.threadless.com. Be on the lookout for It Smells Like Sperm stickers. It's coming soon.
But they won't be scratching stiffs.
No, definitely not scratching stiffs. So, other than that, y'all have a great week, and we will see you next week for episode 71. Have a great one, y'all. Bye.
Remember, if you break down on 75, don't treat your tow truck driver like Joey Loganos.
Yes, don't dog cuss him.
Still be on 75.
Amen.
Or you're blowing AAA.
See you guys.
Adios, as Shore Ash says.